What's up, everyone? Welcome to Bench. We are the Tovar Brothers.
Hello.
Week 4 is about done. One more game left. Twas an eventful Week 4.
Drama.
Started bright and early.
Yep. 6:30 a.m.
My wife was a little upset with how chipper I can get at 6:30, as long as there's a football game on.
Hey, man, I'll get up for most. I won't get up for most things, but for football, yes, sir.
I was up, coffee in hand.
I literally put it on my iPad by my bed. I'm going to roll over and watch it from my bed.
I was wide awake. London game, the Jaguars played the blanking.
The Falcons.
Played the Falcons. And looked okay.
Yep.
We're going to get to all that and much more as Week 4 is, like we said, almost underway. Seahawks Giants tomorrow, or tonight, for Monday Night Football. We're recording late on Sunday night, and we have been up since 6:30 watching football, so we are...
Been a long day.
Time to empty the tank,
Yeah.
as they say.
Home stretch. Monday,
October 2nd, 2023. If I haven't said that, don't know if I have, but there it is. Famous number 34 is what you got.
The GOAT. There's a lot of 34s, but Walter Payton. I mean...
Absolute.
Walter Payton, Earl Campbell, Ricky Williams.
You have notes. You came ready.
I
like it.
Herschel Walker.
Wow.
Some legends here.
Yeah,
and
these are legends.
In a non-football,
Yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal, 34.
Shaq, because that's how I beat Shaq.
Yep.
Boom. What happened to that kid? Don't want to know. Is that Nick Carter? Oh, he passed away.
Yeah, R.I.P. to Nick Carter, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Either way, great song.
On today's episode, we will cover a little bit of news that we have. Some injuries, unfortunately, happened today. Some some seasons cut short, unfortunately, today. And also, Ball Don't Lie. It is Monday. Monday is time for Ball Don't Lie, where we
saw some things.
Yep, where we just call it like it is, like we saw it on the field, and what's actually happening versus the narratives that we built up all offseason and even into the early season through the preseason. Those preseason narratives are just going down one by one.
Yep, all the hype trains are just about either full go or just about stopped.
We'll get into that also at the end of the show. We'll do a Monday night preview for tonight's game, Giants and Seahawks. That should be a pretty good game, I think.
Hopefully so.
I think so. If you are watching on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate your support. And pretty much got a pretty steady group now watching every video. So
yeah.
Thankful for you. If you're listening on Apple, Spotify, we certainly appreciate you.
Hello.
Go ahead and leave a review if you would like, if it's good.
Yeah.
If not, just how you doing? Keep it moving.
But please leave a review. It helps out a whole lot.
Yeah, thanks for following all those. Also, follow the show between the show on Instagram, X, and TikTok. Search @Benched Show to keep up with what's going on there on social media platforms. And that's it for that whole spiel. Before we get into anything else, we're going to touch real quick something we've been touching.
Oh.
That's a weird thing to say. We're going to talk about something we've been talking about.
There we go.
That it seems like the whole entire NFL universe and really the world and every single circle you have is talking about, and that is the budding relationship of Mr. Travis Kelce and Miss Taylor Swift.
Okay, look. I love Travis Kelce. I love his family. I like Taylor Swift.
I'm not with you on this.
It's a little too much. Of this. But I get it. Superstar singer, superstar football player. This is what happens.
I think it's real. I think it's real love.
The press box was crazy. It was her. It was literally Taylor Swift and Deadpool.
Yeah, Taylor Swift said you thought last week was cool.
Yeah.
Guess who I could fill a box with?
I could call him the big guns.
Blake Lively in the house.
Blake Lively.
Hugh Jackman.
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds in there.
Mm-hmm.
The guy from Queer Eye.
Yep. I don't know his name.
Forgot his name.
Uh-huh.
But he can cook.
Yeah.
Also, he's a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Donna Kelce.
Yeah.
At multiple games, just doing her thing. Sitting with the State Farm guy. Donna's taking off, man.
Look, man, sometimes your career takes off late. Donna's career can take. She should. I bet you anything. This Christmas, she's gonna write like a cookbook.
Listen, she's
She'll
taking off.
Yeah.
I brought up when I saw her this morning sitting next to the State Farm guy. They should go with this just every week. Who's Donna sitting with?
Yeah.
Last week with Taylor. This week with
she should start a
State
podcast.
Farm. Yes.
Breakfast with Mama Kelsey.
No, in the stands with Donna.
Yeah, you sit there and talk about football or sports or whatever you talk about.
Yeah. Well, we don't know what's going on with the relationship. We just think it's kind of a fun thing. But I feel like the time to talk about it is running quite thin here.
I mean, if you're on the sleeper app, fantasy-wise,
yeah, that was
and you
pretty
go on
funny.
Travis Kelce's profile, it's literally a picture of Taylor Swift on there. That was kind of crazy.
Sleepers embracing it.
Yeah.
Everyone's embracing it. It's a fun thing. It's a positive thing. It's a feel-good thing. There's a lot of negative stuff going on. And, two good-looking people,
This
two
is what
successful
happens.
people that most people generally like
Yeah.
into each other.
Yeah.
It's a fun thing. Let's get into the actual NFL news. The news is brought to you by A1A Brewing. If you're in the LA area, we have the perfect spot for you and your crew to catch the next game, perhaps Monday night, Seahawks Giants. 818 Brewing has the perfect tasting room to get together with your buddies, grab a drink, and enjoy the game. Their selection of beer includes something for everyone and is all brewed on site. Stop by 818 Brewing at 8953 on DeSoto Avenue in Canoga Park, and we'll see you there.
See you there.
Okay, so there's some news here we need to get to, and unfortunately some injuries. Let's start with the news. So this is, like I said, this is late Sunday night. So we just saw a very surprising performance from the Jets.
Mainly
an encouraging report. A very upset Robert Saleh.
Very angry.
Very angry man.
Enraged.
When he's mad, he truly looks like Xerxes from 300.
Yeah, he looks like if you give this guy a sword, he's just gonna mow down some people.
I thought he was just gonna attack that ref.
Yeah, like he's about to strangle this man with his left hand only.
And I gotta tell him the ref made the right call.
Yeah.
It was definitely a hold.
Hey Robert, I appreciate the passion, but you can't pull the guy's jersey. I don't know what to tell you.
So a news story. That's not how you saw it. Diana Rossini tweeted this morning that the Jets have not called either the Vikings or the Titans about their respective starting quarterbacks, Kirk Cousins or Ryan Tannehill. And maybe that's because they knew something about Zach Wilson that maybe we didn't know.
Look, I'm not gonna say he's back or he's a good quarterback, but tonight
he's back, baby.
No, you're by yourself.
I am.
Hello.
And I don't even believe myself.
No, he played well.
He played very well.
It's just, look, in the NFL, you can play well and still lose. You can play bad and still lose. It's the NFL.
Especially when you're playing the world champs.
Yeah, so look, you can play well, but sometimes it doesn't always work out for.
So I'm not a big moral victory guy. I firmly believe this is a huge moral victory for the New York Jets. What we're talking about is the Jets and Chiefs played on Sunday Night Football, and everyone thought it was going to be a blowout. In fact, for the first quarter, it looked like
it was 10-0. It was 10-0.
Was it 17?
Really quickly, yeah.
Yeah. And Zach Wilson fought his way back in. It's late.
Yeah.
Fought his way back into this game, and it came down to the final possession. It took a Patrick Mahomes magic to finish them off, but we didn't see that coming.
It very encouraging if you're a Jets fan. You could think, well, if this was like a regular team, not that the champions, you'd be like, maybe we could have won. Who knows? What's in half football is a crazy thing. Sometimes people get hot for a certain amount of time, and who knows? I mean, I felt bad for Zach Wilson at the end because this guy's been. I mean, we beat on him pretty harshly, and then
he played his nuts off.
Yeah.
Zach Wilson, 245 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. This is the best we've seen him this year.
He looked solid. He was slinging around like when he throws the ball. Sometimes like, oh yeah, that's why he's picked number 2 overall. He has kind of that. He has a cannon. And he's mobile enough. And
Collinsworth, right? It's Collinsworth.
Yeah.
Collinsworth was saying that all night. Like, listen, this guy, the arm talent has never been the issue. It's really just between the ears. Can he get it together? Can he make the right decisions in key moments? And for the most part tonight, he did a great job. He wasn't perfect, but this team does not need a perfect quarterback. It needs a quarterback that's going to put up 20 to 30 points, pretty consistently.
If it wasn't for an 8-minute drive from Patrick Mahomes to end the game, then he would have gotten a shot. But
yeah, I feel a lot better about the Jets after this.
Mm-hmm.
But
not too much to where I think they're going to be a thing.
Yeah. I was thinking, in preparing for the show, I was looking at some box scores and some kind of recalling some games that we saw today. And I tell you what, I am much more impressed by Zach Wilson performing this way against the Chiefs than I am the incredible stat line Fields put up against the Broncos. Right?
This is where numbers can lie a little bit.
Very deceiving.
This is where
Fields threw for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns, but
what's more impressive is the Zach Wilson go against the Chiefs.
On Sunday Night Football,
prime time, everyone's
pressure
watching.
once again on you.
A week of everyone dogging that. I mean, we dogged him too. I'm not going to say that we're not in that circle. We definitely were, but good for you, man.
And he's a kid. You got to think. He knows the celebrities are in the stands. He knows Aaron Rodgers in the suite watching him.
Papa Bear's over there, taking notes.
He, I'm.
You got Taylor Swift there.
Taylor Swift's there with her crew. No, honestly, I feel happy for the guy. I'm rooting for the kid. I want, if they're not going to go pick up another guy, fine. Whatever. I think you should. But if you're not, I would love to see him lead this team to a playoff and Aaron Rodgers come back in. I would love to see that. Look,
if Tim Tebow can win a playoff game, then Zach Wilson can lead this team to at least contention.
Yeah.
Crazier things have happened. Tebow can't throw the ball right.
You better believe if they weren't pulling Zach Wilson before, they're definitely not pulling him now. So get used to Zach Wilson.
Yeah, there's no changing
as the starting quarterback of the Jets, probably for the whole rest of the season. Moving on here, the Bears drama continues. And once again, Chase Claypool has fallen out of favor with his head coach, his organization. And in fact, it was reported this morning yesterday morning, Sunday morning early, that Coach Matt Eberflus had in fact asked Chase Claypool to stay home.
Hey, Chase.
Jeez.
Hey, Chase, good morning. Good morning. Why don't you just put your bag down?
Wait, let's do it again. Yo, what's up? What's up? This is wide receiver 1, Chase Claypool. What's going on?
Hey, good morning, Chase.
Hey, I'm ready to ball, Coach.
Hey,
best receiver in the league, Coach. Give me the ball. Sorry. What were you going to say?
A little bit. Have you had breakfast yet?
Yes, sir.
All right, why don't you...
I lied. I had breakfast. I just woke up, Coach.
How about this? Why don't you go to Denny's?
Okay.
And then after Denny's, go back home.
What you mean?
We have someone to cover your shift today. Don't worry about it.
Beep. That's where he hung up. Chase Claypool. That's exactly how it went.
Exactly how it went.
From our sources.
Mm-hmm.
Sources have told us that. No, but Chase Claypool asked to stay home. I mean, he fell out of favor with the Steelers. They look like they just completely worked the
fleeced.
Yeah, fleeced. That's the word. The Bears and getting basically a first round pick for him, 32nd overall.
Yep.
Now he is not. It's not. It's worse than a healthy scratch. We don't even want you around the team.
Like you're a cancer. Don't be around our team.
Ugh.
Look what happened. They actually performed.
How many more chances does he get? I mean,
he gets one more.
Yeah,
he gets one more. Some team will come for a 6th round pick. Just say, a strong locker. Like maybe just fix this guy.
He's so physically gifted.
I'm thinking he's the kind of guy who, if he's on a good team, he'll try really hard. If he's on a bad team, he won't try at all.
Yeah, one of those guys. He needs to get an incredibly strong culture.
Yeah, like goes to the Chiefs, right? Yeah. I'm sure he'll try very hard if Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes try to throw him the ball.
I wonder how he do with my Eagles.
Miami, the Eagles. Yeah,
strong locker room.
Yeah, you need. This is what
Lane Johnson, Jason Kelsey.
Yeah,
Fletcher Cox.
But who knows? Or he could just be a complete idiot, and we just don't know it.
You hate to see the wasted talent, but Chase Claypool falling out of favor there. We'll see what happens. Strong trade candidate.
He will be traded.
Yeah,
They said today they're looking for a 5th or a 6th round pick. Someone will take a shot at him.
I think so. Moving on, Christian McCaffrey has not been with the San Francisco 49ers for a year yet. Am I correct?
I believe you.
It was a trade deadline last year, right?
Oh, yeah.
And yet he is breaking records already. All-time 49ers records. Not only all-time 49ers records, but records held by the great one, Jerry Rice.
The GOAT, some would say.
McCaffrey scored a TD in his 13th straight game, breaking a tie with Jerry Rice that he set in 1987 for the longest streak in 49ers history.
Look, this guy's doing some LT shit over here. I mean, good for him.
For real.
Good for the Niners for saying, we know you're injured, but in our system, we'll take care of you. And it's kind of surprising how he's all of a sudden not very injured. He's a workhorse now.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, those ankles are feeling good.
Someone's in the water over there in San Fran. There.
They have a history of keeping running backs healthy, too.
Yeah. Before this, some
tweets I saw today where it made me smile because it's something we've been talking about for a solid month, maybe more, into preseason.
Okay.
And that is McCaffrey for MVP.
Look.
We've been pounding the table for that for a while, at least to put him in the conversation.
It's heating up now. 4 TDs today.
I mean, Tua dropped 70 last week, so you got to believe he's there too.
Mm-hmm.
I think so far, next week we're a quarter of the way through the season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think it's an okay time to start talking about this.
Yeah.
I think McCaffrey's there. I think Tua's there, and you have to think
Tyreek Hill or Justin Jefferson.
Ooh.
One of those
I don't
guys.
think Jay Jettis is there.
Could be in the talk, but yeah, Tyreek probably is there. I'm guessing.
I think Tua is there. Maybe. I was gonna say Patrick Mahomes just
because he's always in there.
he just belongs there.
Yeah. So. Yeah, but McCaffrey, man, he's doing things that you haven't seen since LTs and that one magical season in 2000, whatever.
Yeah.
Phenomenal player to watch. The system's based around him. It's giving him the ball. We'll play action off of him.
Some players banged up today include Justin Herbert, quarterback of the Chargers. Steelers quarterback Kenny Pickett. We'll talk about that in a second. Steelers receiver T. Higgins and Bills cornerback Tre'Davious White.
Bengals receiver.
Sorry. Bengals receiver T. Higgins and Bills cornerback Tre'Davious White. Some just huge names, not to mention Patriots defensive end Matthew Judon. Let's start there. Matthew Judon is being evaluated for a biceps tendon injury. He's getting an MRI to determine the severity. Either way, he's expected to miss some time. Many people believe he did tear a bicep, which usually means the year.
Devastating. Phenomenal player. Was probably their most dynamic player on defense, besides Gonzalez maybe. But yeah, he's a underrated player. This sucks. This sucks for them and for the Patriots.
I don't have an update on it, but Christian Gonzalez also went down today with, I believe, a shoulder.
It was a lot. The Patriots nation took a lot of L's today.
Yeah, Judon went down. Christian Gonzalez went down.
Yeah,
and Mac Jones was pulled from the game. So he was the one getting him the nuts this time.
Yeah, by his head coach, Mr. Bill Belichick. This is Patriots tough day, tough to be a fan over there.
Moving on here, let's talk about T. Higgins. T. Higgins was declared out almost immediately today after he suffered what they believe is a rib fracture. They're going to probably get some x-rays and confirm that. But this just, we're going to talk about the Bengals a little later. Mm-hmm. Not good.
Not bueno, no.
T. Higgins, not good for T. Higgins either. I mean, it's a rib injury, so it's not going to affect his money.
Yeah.
But he definitely wants to put some tape out there, wants to be a hot commodity heading into free agency. And he's going to miss some time with this rib injury, and the Bengals are suffering in more ways than one.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk too much. This we're going to talk about right now. Steelers quarterback Kenny Pickett helped off the field after a sack, limping with an apparent injury. I've seen tweets ranging from hopefully an MCL sprain to, of course, the dreaded torn ACL. And so we'll see. All determined by MRI tomorrow. And so let's talk about this. If Kenny Pickett tore his ACL, Mitch Trubisky's the man.
Sheesh.
Does that change anything for the Steelers this year?
Yes. I mean, Pickett wasn't lighting it up, but he's better than Mitch. This sucks. This sucks for Steelers fans because you want this young core to. Yeah. You're kind of just, thinking like, oh, there's growing pains. They got to gel. They got to be better. And then this happens, and it kind of just deflates the entire offense. And
I'm gonna say this carefully because I don't want to be. I don't. Obviously, I'm never going to celebrate someone getting hurt.
No, yeah.
But moving on from a guy that you have backed so wholeheartedly and so publicly can be tough sometimes.
Yeah.
I think the Steelers shouldn't go back to Kenny Pickett. I don't think he has it. I don't think he's elite at anything. Mm-hmm. He has an okay arm. He's slow reading the field. He just isn't very decisive. He's not overly athletic. I'm not sure what he brings. He doesn't elevate receivers. He hasn't elevated this offense. We've seen from time to time him make a couple plays, but that's about it. He dominated some third strings in the preseason. Sorry. What were you saying?
I'm saying we're not going to celebrate him getting injured. This is just us from what we see on the field. We talked about it before he got hurt. He just misses. He doesn't have the it.
Yeah.
The it to elevate players who aren't as good to a better level.
Right.
This is tough. They have to make up some choices here because there's some good quarterbacks in next year's draft, and if they will try to win, and maybe Tomlin's streak comes to an end this year, and they have a good pick, and they have to figure out whether you're a Pickett or do you draft a guy.
Right.
So it's gonna be tough over there. I'm curious to see what Tomlin does.
2 years enough time to evaluate a quarterback?
Most time, the Steelers are different. They're kind of old school, but most times 2 years is kind of all you get.
I believe he came out as a 4-year starter.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how much. What's his ceiling?
He is what he is, right?
Yeah,
he has to be close to 26 now.
Yeah, it sucks, but we'll see. I'm curious to see if they add a quarterback off free agency or if they just roll with Mitch because I don't think they're not a trading for quarterback kind of franchise.
They want a long-term guy.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to get into Ball Don't Lie for week number 4.
Week 4.
Be right back. Okay, we are back with Ball Don't Lie for week number 4. This is us looking at what happened on the field, how it played out, and what narratives are being destroyed and created at the same time. I'll let you go first. What do you got?
Hit the button, and I will go.
Oh, yeah, there's a Ball Don't Lie button.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Ball don't lie. That ball don't lie.
That's how you do it.
Ball don't lie. The Bengals are unraveling, and they are not a serious contender right now. Look. This was my Super Bowl pick. It pains me to say this.
Ouch.
I've been fighting taking them off my top 10
Truly.
for 3 weeks. But after today, they got shredded by the Titans 27 to 3. I'm officially in panic mode about the Cincinnati Bengals. Burrow is not playing well because he is hurt. They mismanaged this entire thing. They should have put him on short-term IR because now he's dinking and dunking. And what that did, short routes, I got T. Higgins. I mean, obviously you can't say that's what happened, but T. Higgins got hurt. So you have a hurt Burrow. T. Higgins is out. Ja'Marr Chase after the game is clearly frustrated because all they do is dink and dunk. It's not creative. It's not innovative because Burrow can't run. Their mixing is great, but he's not the running back that's going to make an offense go. He's a complimentary running back for an elite team. I am very, very worried that the Bengals might not even make the playoffs this year because they're not playing well and they're not getting healthier because that calf will be an issue the whole season if they don't address it right.
This is Ja'Marr Chase after the game.
I'm open. I'm always fucking open. Excuse my profanity. I'm sorry.
Look, it's getting
ugly.
And we talked about this earlier off air. They've only known good times there in Cincinnati.
Truly.
They've been the hot one. They've been the sexy pick.
Why am I saying truly today?
Sorry,
yeah.
Yeah, they've been the sexy pick. They've been, obviously they've had, losses, but this is the first time I can remember in this kind of era of the Bengals being good where it's like
They're struggling.
they're struggling bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, am I right here or what?
I think you're completely right. And I think, in fact, I would even say a little stronger. I would say they are no longer serious contenders for a Super Bowl. And my biggest thing is you don't see teams fix offensive lines mid-season.
Yes.
That's just you can't bring in talent. No one's getting rid of their guys. Everyone needs O-line help. And no one's just sending their extra guys to go help you out.
Yep.
And so that's why you don't see these guys, you don't see O-lines really fixed. You see them schemed around. You see maybe changes made or young guys step up. But there's no young guys to step up here. There's not really any changes to make when you just flat out beat. And I mean, that I think could definitely contribute to Joe Burrow's struggles. But he's just, ever since he's been paid, he's just been really, really struggling. Can I read you some numbers here?
Hit it.
Joe Burrow, since being made the highest paid player in NFL, lower passer rating than Zach Wilson and Desmond Ridder.
Tough.
Less passing yards than Josh Dobbs and Justin Fields.
Not good.
Lower completion percentage than every quarterback besides Jordan Love and Anthony Richardson, and the least amount of passing touchdowns of any starting quarterback.
No bueno, and it's not. You know what this reminds you of? This offense reminds you of the last year of Peyton when he couldn't move. We just kind of dick and dunked his way in the field, but it's tough to watch. This offense is tough because they just get it to Chase and Burrow, Chase and Higgins before he got hurt, and do something with it. And if they can't, the offense isn't going anywhere.
So they're 1-3, right?
1-3.
So they're 1-3, and I could go get the numbers, but I'm sure the numbers are way against them for making the playoffs or making a deep playoff run, and they're dealing with a very banged up team. Higgins is going to be out.
Mm-hmm.
Chase is pissed.
Yeah.
The O-line is in shambles, and Burrow is hurt.
He's hurt.
Like, really hurt.
Yeah.
I think you take a step back here, and you put Burrow on the IR.
I think you have to eat 4 weeks. You eat 4 weeks, you put Higgins, you put Burrow on short-term IR. Like, we're going to eat 4 weeks and try to get to be 500 in these 4 weeks.
Yep. Go work the waivers. Go see if you could steal some linemen off people's practice squads.
Yep.
Just get as best as you can. And then maybe just change your game plan a little bit. Maybe you're running the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's screens. Maybe you're not just letting Burrow cook like you want to, like I would love to see. And maybe you bring him back in 4 weeks. He's healthy, and you have a more conservative offense. And if you don't make the playoffs, you don't make the playoffs.
Look,
Let's just get this thing moving in the right direction.
we always talk about championship windows and how teams think that, every year's our window. Look, you never know how fast this window can change. You never know what team's going to rise when you fall or you slip. Not saying that they've fallen, but saying that they're showing signs of they might not even make the playoffs. I mean, we've seen crazy things happen with 1 and 3 teams make the playoffs, but the vibes aren't very good over there in Cincinnati.
I want you to share your Bills take.
Okay.
Because I want to go after that.
Bottom line, the Bills might be in the Super Bowl. The Bills look fantastic. Against who? The 70-point Miami Dolphins.
Yep.
Look, that defense came to play. They punched the Dolphins in the mouth.
Yeah.
Josh Allen was 21 for 25, 4 touchdowns.
They Mac Jones those fools.
They held Miami to 20 points, 4 sacks, and 9 QB hits and 2 turnovers. That defense was flying around. And offensively, what did I say about Josh Allen? He was playing smart, playoff caliber football. And this is what happens. The defense turns out to be elite. Josh Allen's already there, has shown signs. If he does this, who's beating this team? If Josh Allen isn't being crazy and this defense is elite, who's beating this team? This ball don't lie. The Bills might be in the Super Bowl this year.
And I'm going to say mine because it's kind of attached to this one. Ball don't lie. We overreacted to 70 points. We did. We all did. I did.
Talking about Miami, yeah.
The Miami dropped 70 on the Broncos, famously. I think we've all heard about it. But I think we overreacted to it. I think they caught the right team at the right moment. Broncos are really struggling, kind of on their way down in many ways. Really, the worst point since you've been alive in Broncos, history.
Dark times.
Yeah, it's really just the lowest point for the Broncos here, and you caught a Dolphins team who is just offensively can do this.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we overreacted. They flew to the top of power rankings. It was really almost like
not mine.
Yeah, not yours. But almost, you saw people just this team, might win out or a near perfect team, and they're throwing up 70. And in fantasy, you played all your Dolphins, but if you look at what they've done so far this year, they beat the Chargers by 2, by 2 points.
Yeah.
Okay, they beat the Patriots, who haven't looked good all year, who are winless or 1 win.
1 win.
They beat them by 7. Beat them by 1 touchdown. They beat the Broncos, of course, by 50, 70-20. And then today they lose by 28 to the Bills. I think the outlier is definitely the 70. And they really are somewhere between an above-average team and what we saw at 70 points. So I think they're still elite. I think they're still top 5 material, whether or not you're going to put them there. I think they can reach that. But we also got to remember they've struggled against some bad teams. I guess is what I'm trying to say. You mentioned Josh Allen, what they did to them today, just on defense, over 400 yards, giving up total yards, 320 of those to Josh Allen. Also had a rushing touchdown. We're very undisciplined as a team. 8 penalties for 98 yards, turned the ball over twice. By the way, Josh Allen, 4 touchdown passes, 3 incompletions.
That's how you do it.
They just ran right through this defense, and that's something we should pay attention to.
Yeah.
This is the first playoff team that they faced.
Hey.
Chargers, Patriots, Broncos. Who's a playoff team there? First playoff team they faced, and they really got run out of the building. So, ball don't lie. I think we overreacted to 70 points, but we don't need to overreact to this blowout either.
Yeah.
It's still a very good team.
It's a good team that faced another good team, but one good team came out on top. Like, look, they could meet later on in the season. It could be a completely different thing, but it was a great game, though. It was a solid game.
Fun game. Okay, I'm going to go again. Ready?
Yeah, do it.
Ball don't lie. The Bears need to commit to tank for Caleb.
Okay.
I'm talking about Caleb Williams of the USC Trojans, who, by the way, so far this year, 1,600 yards, 21 touchdowns, 1 interception.
It's pretty good.
88 QBR. The Bears currently, without moving any quarterbacks for future picks, are in line to receive the first and second picks in the 2024 draft.
That seems advantageous.
That seems like a very good. I think they own the Panthers pick, and the Panthers don't seem like they're going anywhere anytime soon. Was it the Panthers pick? No.
somebody's pick. Panthers, I'm guessing. Either way, they own the
What
number
pick
2
is
pick.
that? Can you find that out? It's going to drive me crazy.
Sure.
Yeah, but sorry, thank you. But they own the first and second pick, and so Fields had a good day today. Okay, I want to because people are going to hear this and think, why in the world would you decide this is the time to move on from Fields? Well, he threw up 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, and he looked good today. But he was facing the Denver Broncos, who just gave up 70. This defense looks awful. It's just basically just a wide open door up and down the field. And Fields did look good. And what I want to point out about Fields is that you either think he's a guy who can lead you to Super Bowls at least one day, or you move on.
Mm-hmm.
If he's just a guy who's going to beat up on bad teams and disappear against good teams, and that's all you've seen from him, or he's just not a good fit with your coaching staff or your philosophy or your locker room, and he's just not showing up in those times, you need to move on fast. You can't afford to waste time, and you certainly can't afford to do one more year of passing on a C.J. Stroud because you want to see what Fields has.
Yeah.
And so I think it would be, if I was a Bears fan, I would want my team to put Fields on the market. He's still worth multiple first-round picks.
Got a lot for Fields right now.
Multiple first-round picks. We can just start listing off teams who would want a Justin Fields.
Yep.
The Falcons, one of those teams who have been rumored to be keeping an eye on him. But imagine having 2 top 5 picks already just of your own, and whatever haul Fields can bring in. You draft a Caleb Williams, you draft him some linemen, you draft him some receivers. You already have good weapons around him. Mm-hmm. You fix that O-line, and you give a lot to that defense, and you're in a much better spot in a year.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think?
No, it's interesting because the Bears, if you talk to Bears fans, it's been the same story for the last 20 years, that the front office, the organization is not well run, whatever.
Right.
But it's not a bad idea, because Fields, I'm a Bronco fan, so I watched every snap of that Broncos-Bears game. You see what he can be. He tore up this defense, right?
Yeah.
And then you see in the second half how when things weren't going the right way, he fell into nothingness. He fell into scrambling, holding the ball.
It just stopped.
It just stopped. And so you're thinking, like, is it coaching or is it him? Then you're like, okay, if things are going well, he goes well. If things are going bad, like the highs are highs, but the lows are lows. I don't know if you want to build your franchise around someone like that. You want someone who's even killed the whole time. Look, Caleb Williams is a generational talent. No one looks close to him as number 1 overall.
He looks so good.
You watch him play, and he's just in control, and he's loose, and he's playing free. And you watch Fields, and he feels like he wants to be that, but he's just years of being. He's the most sacked quarterback in the last 3 years or 2 years that messes with your mind.
Yeah.
It's Bears fans. You should be hoping that they kind of flush it out.
I think you give up the good because you want the great.
Yeah.
You want a great roster, and you want a great quarterback.
Yeah.
I think if you made a mistake this past year, but I understand that mistake.
Yeah.
Fields showed out, and I understand giving him one more year. But he's been really bad before today. And he, like you mentioned, he had a good half.
Mm-hmm.
Second half, he was not very good, and that allowed the Broncos to come all the way back and win the game.
Down 21 points.
Down 21 points, and he couldn't hold them off. A team that's supposed to be probably built to play with the lead with how they can run the ball.
Yeah.
And they just weren't able to do it. And so I don't fall in love with this guy's flashes. That's going to cost you.
Yeah.
That's going to cost you because you don't need flashes. You need someone who's steadily going to get better, steadily going to move your offense. And, man, I'd love to see Caleb Williams in Chicago.
Yeah. Real quick,
Yeah.
This is a bonus ball don't lie.
I like it.
Angel, don't be a Bronco fan. Look, this is I'm part of this podcast. I'm gonna say what the hell I want.
Okay, wow. Coming in very strong.
Russell Wilson is on pace for 38 touchdowns and 8 picks. And nobody is talking about it because he lost by 70 last week. Today, 3 touchdowns, 21 of 28. Has the deep ball back. Look, I'm not saying they make playoffs. I'm not saying they're going to be Super Bowl. But watch out for Russell Wilson at the end of the year with, he has 40 touchdowns. Because he's performing. He's not turning the ball over. And when someone gets up 70 points, you're not going to win most times. And this defense is bad. Bad. But just not a little ball line. Russell Wilson playing better than you think he is.
So my thought, because you mentioned this before the show, and I was thinking about it. I have 2 thoughts, and they're opposing. the first thought is this: is he playing against like a bunch of prevent defenses because they're getting blown out?
No, I'm not saying
Right.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
just the
yeah,
that's
yeah.
the number two. If we had this Russell Wilson last year with what the Broncos defense was last year, hello.
Football was weird. Sometimes you don't get it till a year later. We'll see where it ends up. But as of right now, stats look pretty good.
Russ, who I believe is the future Jets quarterback,
Wild.
Angel refuses. You got another?
Yeah,
bottom line?
ball don't lie. This one kind of makes me sad. Bottom line, we haven't seen one impressive game from Trevor Lawrence this year.
Yeah.
Let me list you, starting from week 1, his games. 2 touchdowns and a pick, 241 yards. 0 touchdowns, 0 picks, 216 yards. 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 279 yards. And today, 207 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 pick. Not over 300 yards and not 3 touchdowns yet. He doesn't, like you said when we were watching it, they give him too much freedom, and he looks just like overwhelmed by being, I don't think he's ready to be that kind of quarterback, like the Mahomes, where you're kind of calling out what you want, hot routing. I don't know if he could be elite yet. We think he is. We think he can. Number 1 overall. He was in the same realm as the Caleb Williams coming out, like this generational prospect, height, weight, arm. Where is it? We need to see an elite performance to believe that he's elite. That's what elite players do. They are elite. And it's not like they've played decent, but they've also played bad teams. They were blown up by the Texans, who should be a bad team. And he didn't do well there.
Yeah.
The Falcons, 1 touchdown, 207 yards. Is that screaming, pay me $55 million a year?
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence just hasn't put up those numbers that we all look for these great quarterbacks to put up. You're talking about 300 yards at least.
Yes.
And then every now and then touch 400, flirt with 500 yards every now and then.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't do that. And I don't know what it is now. He has a decent offensive line. It's not too bad. It's not too great, but it's decent.
Yeah.
Much better than some what these other quarterbacks are working with.
Mm-hmm.
Namely, we don't give C.J. Stroud that excuse, missing 3/4 of his offensive line.
Exactly.
He has the weapons now. Kirk, Ridley, Ingram, ETN, Tank Bigsby in the back. All those guys. I mean, he has the weapons now. They won today, so we want to give them their props. They won. He did. He played a winning football game. I'm going to give a lot of that to the defense stopping a one-dimensional offense in the Falcons. They couldn't run against them, at least not in the way that they're used to. And 23 points was enough to win that game easily.
Yeah,
But like you said, we haven't seen an impressive game.
Yeah, we need to see something else for me to put him into that realm of he's not even in the Herbert realm. He's not even near that. His numbers aren't even better than Russell Wilson's, who we just talked about, and we would never put him in that Herbert realm.
Right.
On the season, he's 4 touchdowns and 2 picks. That doesn't scream elite. That doesn't scream what we think he should be. So for number 1 overall pick, it's time.
I'm interested to see how they finish off this year. And obviously, we're so early in the year still.
Yeah.
But last year, they got off to a very slow start.
Yeah.
And finished just on fire.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's just that guy. I want to see if is he going to heat it up.
Yeah.
And we're just going to be thinking, okay, this is just a guy who starts slow for whatever reason.
Start slow.
He starts slow. I hope so because we want to see this guy be great. But ball don't lie, we haven't seen impressive performances from Trevor Lawrence.
Yes.
Although they're winning.
They're winning. As this is more individual. I just want to see him perform better. Elite.
Ball don't lie. C.J. Stroud is the NFL's next quarterback phenom.
It's hard to argue.
Yeah, that's a big statement. But this guy is
with who?
He is still missing more than half his offensive line.
Last 2 weeks, Tunzel hasn't been in there.
Both of his tackles are out.
Mm-hmm.
His center's out.
His left guard's out.
His left guard is out. And he's just balling. With Nico Collins, rookie 165-pound Tank Dell, and the ghost of Robert Woods, and he is balling.
This is what players do when they're just good. They make everyone around them better.
He's elevating literally the entire franchise. It's kind of funny because coming out, we heard so much about Will Anderson, their other first-round pick.
Yeah.
How he's going to be the leader of the team. He's going to be the immediate impact guy. He's going to be the guy setting the culture. I'm sorry. C.J. Stroud is the face of this franchise already. And he is the reason for hope in this Texans fan base, and you should have hope because this guy is a stud.
I mean, for the last 2 years, they were in the crapper as far as news, and they had the Watts thing hang over their heads, and they were
Right.
Davis Mills, and they weren't good. This is the football gods bless them with a phenomenal young player who seems to be a good guy, all cares about football.
Yeah.
He's always been a high character guy, and he's always he's played obviously an elite college program, but now he's doing it in the NFL with, he's not doing it. He doesn't have a Jamar Chase out there, doesn't have a Justin Jefferson. He's just making it happen.
I was thinking about the offseason, just the circus sometimes at the combine is.
Yeah.
And what they put the players through. And if you remember, CJ Stroud scored low in one of their aptitude tests.
Yeah.
And that was his biggest thing. Is this another Ohio State quarterback who can't process an NFL defense and can't make reads? And although he lit it up and was historically accurate,
yep,
and balled out with obviously great receivers, but maximized these great receivers in college, people still were down on him. People passed on him. And yet here he is today. He threw up another 300-yard passing game. His, I believe, third. Lawrence doesn't have any, by the way. He rushed a little bit today, threw 2 touchdowns, 111 passing rating, and still has not thrown an interception. He has broken that record and now is increasing that record.
It's phenomenal to see because, we all thought, Texas is going to be bad this year. I mean, they're building, whatever. They look pretty damn good.
Back-to-back weeks of blowing out the Steelers and Jaguars is impressive.
Those are legit teams. Those are well-coached, legit teams with seasoned head coaches against this first-year head coach with a rookie quarterback who's 21, with weapons that before this year you wouldn't have given him a second thought.
No.
Robert Woods was cut, and Nico Collins, which is a guy who showed flashes at times.
Yes.
And Tank Dell fell on draft because he didn't weigh enough.
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, he didn't weigh enough. Stroud has over 1,200 passing yards now and 6 touchdowns. Like I said, no interceptions. And he's breaking records. I'm not going to read you all. I know he's broken some for obviously the big one is interceptions.
Yeah.
No interceptions to start a career.
Yep.
The yards he's thrown for in his first 4 starts. He's just elevated this whole franchise, and he's the next guy. He looks the part. He speaks the part. He talked today about just wanting the Texans franchise, the fans of that franchise to hold their hair up proudly to be a Texans fan. And how it's not going to fly with him being embarrassed to be a Texans fan. I love this kid.
Yep.
And I think the future's bright.
It's where you kind of think like, can they win the AFC South? Can they actually?
Okay. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Because I was talking about this. I was looking at CJ Stroud and kind of what he did in today's game, and I was thinking, wait a minute, they just blew out the Steelers with no offensive line and one of the best defensive lines going against them.
Well,
T.J. Watt, Alex Highsmith, guys who just terrorized every team they faced so far this year. T.J. Watt, he might be the best defensive player in the league right now.
Yep.
He's that good.
Close to.
And they blew him out.
Yep.
They blew him out. They blew out the Jaguars as well. I want to look at his record now. That's not the record. Their schedule for the rest of the year. Let me take a minute to pull it up here. Their schedule for the rest of the year. And I want to go team by team with you. And I want to know where are the losses in this schedule. You ready?
Okay. All right.
Okay, so far they are 2-2, right? They lost their first 2 games to Baltimore and Indy. Then they blew out Jacksonville and Pittsburgh. So they're 2-2.
That's a tough schedule to start with. Okay, all right.
Atlanta.
They probably win that one.
Saints.
That's a tough one. They might lose that one. I don't know why. I'm just feeling, but
That's one. That's
1-1.
Yeah, 1-1.
Yeah, so far.
Panthers.
Win.
Bucks.
I love the Bucks, but win.
Bengals.
At this point, yeah, I'll take them. Win.
Cardinals. Jags.
Wow, this is telling. Yeah, they might win the one too.
Broncos.
Yeah,
that's a win. Jets.
Yikes.
Titans.
The Titans are better than we think, but yeah.
Browns. I think Browns is the hardest team of their schedule.
Look, I think
they finish off with the Titans and the Colts. I see Cleveland being a tough game, Tampa Bay being a tough game, and New Orleans, and maybe Atlanta. That's only 4 games that I think are going to be tough, but I still think they can definitely win.
But that's if he keeps up this historic pace. He's going to hit something.
They're just going to get healthier.
No, but I'm saying like
Imagine this team with a healthy offensive line. They could run the ball.
Yeah, I mean,
I love this, man.
it's a phenomenal team that's years ahead of like schedule where it should be. I like the build of it. Yeah, and then next year they have cap space and there's a lot of wideouts out there where you can help them even more so.
Yeah. So ball don't lie. CJ Stroud is on his way.
Yeah.
And I'm all in. I'm all here for it. Do you have any more?
Just a little bonus one. Ball don't lie. The Panthers made a mistake and by drafting Bryce Young over CJ Stroud because that looks pretty dumb now.
Yeah, I mean Bryce Young may go on to have a great career.
But
right now, yeah.
Yeah, they picked. I almost feel like they picked the least talented because out of the three, because Richardson looks good too.
He does look very good.
I know they didn't win, but he had a comeback against the Rams.
Yeah,
Richardson.
I like Richardson a lot.
Yeah, so the draft is a you can get caught up in some hype sometimes.
It has to be the worst feeling because they traded to get up there.
Trade most of their future for this kid,
and they missed twice and picked. They had a 66% chance of getting a franchise quarterback.
Yeah, this is the NFL, and there's no redos, there's no do-overs. You mess up this, and you could set your franchise back a couple years. I'm not saying he's a bust. I'm saying as of right now, not looking good.
That is Ball Don't Lie for Week 4. A lot of fun. If you have any thoughts on that, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. We're going to take a quick break and then preview Monday Night Football, Giants, Seahawks. Be right back. Okay, before we wrap up the show, we want to do a Monday night preview as the Seattle Seahawks will travel to New Jersey and play the New York Giants. Both teams here sitting, the Seahawks at 2-1, the Giants sitting at 1-2. And I think this is going to be a better game than it would seem. Preseason, I would tell you the Seahawks might blow out this team, but the Seahawks haven't exactly been clicking yet.
No, not yet. They're a good team, but not clicking as you think they would be.
Yeah. The Giants are favored by 3, which tells you get 3 points just for being at home, which tells you people see this team or the Sharks, the Vegas people, see these teams being very evenly matched.
Yeah.
Over-under set at 47. That's slightly higher than usual, so they think there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game, and I think so as well.
I mean, from what I saw last time I saw the Giants defense, that defense isn't very good. And the Seattle's offense, you got playmakers all over the place. Guys are playing well. I think DK was a little bit banged up, but he is probably going to play. Yeah, this going to be a fun one.
Yeah, Seattle has beat the Giants the last 5 times they faced them. It's on a little bit of a roll here. Let's look first at this struggling Giants offense because they looked really bad last week, albeit against the Niners.
Everyone looks bad against the Niners.
Yeah. Talk to me about what the Giants need to do differently because they'll get Saquon back, I believe.
No, doubtful.
He's not going to play?
Yeah.
Okay, so they'll miss Saquon again. So without Saquon, how do they squeeze some points out of this offense?
You have to control the ball. It's tough when you don't believe in, you have to give one of these wilds a shot to just be the guy.
Yeah.
This rotating thing probably works on paper, but you need someone to just be like, you need to be the guy. We need you to be the guy.
Yeah.
That's somehow some guys respond to that. I don't like this 6-man rotation to have a wideout where no one gets in rhythm, no one gets a feel of the game.
Yeah.
Just in and out, in and out, in and out. I'm not sure if that works. I'm not sure if I've seen the Super Bowl team do that besides the Patriots, but they always had one guy who was the guy. And you got to believe in somebody.
Yeah, you kind of saw this, and this is kind of maybe a bad example, but when you said that is what I thought of. When I was watching that Colorado USC game this weekend,
Yeah.
Colorado was getting blown out, and then they found this kid.
14. I've been blinking his name.
Amarion. I can't remember his last
He balled
name.
out, though.
But yeah, first catch of his career. And then they just started feeding him. They found a guy who was hot, who was confident, who was clicking with the quarter with Shedeur Sanders there, and they just rode him to a comeback. You're saying stop rotating. If it's Wan'Dale Robinson, if it's Jalen Hyatt, if it's whoever you have back there, start riding someone because the lack of consistency is causing a lack of consistency.
Yeah, and also I don't think they even believe in one of these guys. It doesn't feel like they trust anybody to be out there from first to third down, which will for Daniel Jones, a guy we don't think is an elite quarterback. He needs someone who we could trust. Darren Waller does not not looking like he's that guy anymore. He looks a little slow, looks whatever. look, if they want to win this game, they have to start believing in somebody. You have to start just saying, like, these are our 3 guys. We're going to have these guys out there, and it doesn't work this game, we're going to try another 3 the next game. We have to figure out our roster right now before we get too far back where we're just in 2 wins and 7 losses. You have to figure this shit out.
With Saquon missing games, their other big offensive pieces are struggling. Daniel Jones has thrown for over 500 yards, but 2 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, and completing not just under 65% of his passes, and only averaging 187 yards per game, less than 6 yards per attempt.
Yeah, it's
Dinkin and Duncan.
Daniel Jones isn't that quarterback who can just put it on his back. He hasn't showed us that yet. It's tough without Saquon, and you can see the importance of Saquon because he's their entire offense. It's a hard offense to watch without Saquon, to be honest.
Yeah, from what I've seen so far, Darren Waller isn't quite what I remember. Prime Raiders Darren Waller. So far in the year, just 12 passes caught, 132 yards, and has not scored a touchdown.
Yeah, it's tough out there. If you're a Giants fan, you're just kind of you hope that this is our number 1, but he's not really turned out to be number 1. So then you kind of maybe they put too much pressure on this 30-year-old tight end who has injury problems to be the guy.
Maybe they paid the wrong quarterback. Is the real thing.
Yeah, we've been an anti Daniel Jones is a franchise guy for a while. So you only do so much to fix guys like that. I don't know. If they want to win, they have to no turnovers tomorrow and find a guy. And if he's hot, keep him in. I don't even care if he's 5'6". You keep him in. You play him and play him and play him.
Yeah, you have to throw it on the field.
Yeah.
This thinking that it's not going to work. You can use that as like an extended running game, especially now because all you have is Mac Breida and the rookie Eric Gray. You don't have a running back that you trust to give 15 carries. So maybe that extended running game and those short passes needs to be part of your game plan.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you don't have to keep the defense honest, keep the safeties back, and use some. You have some speed here. Jalen Hyatt, Sterling Shepard can still run. Some of these guys can help you stretch the field, but you need to call it. You need to balance this offense out because this boring offense, this Ben Roethlisberger in his final year's offense, is not getting the job done.
And defensively, they've looked pretty bad for being. Last year they were pretty good defensively. This year they're just not getting the turnovers, not getting that pressure. This is a team that's fighting to develop an identity for this year. You can only write off last year for so long before it's look. That's in the past. You got to win right now. And going against a Seattle team that has playmakers on offense all over. There are 3 wideouts deep. There are 2 running backs deep. They have a solid veteran quarterback. It's time to step up, Giants. If you want to be a legit team in the NFC who plays against the 49ers, the Eagles, you need to learn how to do some shit and do it at an elite level.
We both picked the Seahawks for this game.
Yes.
And let's get into why. The Seahawks have not been great, but they've been good. And they have a good record. And Geno Smith seems like he's picked up right where he left off. 700 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, just 1 interception. Just under 70% completion percentage.
That's his thing.
245 yards a game. That'll work. And 7 yards per attempt. I mean, he's been pretty much what he was last year, and Lockett, Metcalf are playing well enough to where the rookie
JSN,
Jackson Smith, and Jigba can't even get on the field.
Lockett's one of the most underrated wideouts in the league, and we keep every single year we underrate him. He just continues to show. I'm still that guy. I wasn't made from Russell Wilson. I was made in parallel with Russell Wilson. I came up along with him. He wasn't. Yeah. So Lockett and DK are pretty good one too, and so much so that I think everyone's top rated wideout JSN. If not 2 or 3, because let me see the field.
Yeah. I believe they're going to get Jamal Adams back this game.
We'd like to see him play. When he's on, he's pretty fun to watch.
This defense has been pretty good, getting better, and I think this is going to be a good game just because I think the Giants are at home, and the Seahawks are a team where you haven't seen them just control a team yet, so you can see the Giants sticking around. But it also wouldn't surprise me if the Seahawks just blew them out because that's their ceiling. They can be that team.
They're a tricky team because you look around the roster and you don't really see one elite player.
Yeah.
Which sees a lot of very good players.
Yeah.
And so that's why they're who they are. That's why they're in every game because they're well built and they're well coached, obviously. And this defense has all the potential to be good. Jamal Adams just you throw him in packages, and he's a playmaker. He's been out a year and a half, so I'm probably will be on a pitch count. Probably won't be the same just as of yet, but any kind of magic you can get on that defensive side against Daniel Jones might be fun to watch.
So I have 3 things we're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll share them now. You can think of yours. Jamal Adams. I want to see, is he that guy still? Is he that piece that makes your defense special? Can he pair himself with Bobby Wagner and the rest of those guys, those young cornerbacks in that secondary, Julian Love, those guys, and set this defense apart?
Mm-hmm.
Second thing I'm looking for, can Daniel Jones can he piece together drives? Can he keep up? The Seahawks can score in chunks because of those receivers, because they're willing to throw the ball down the field, because Metcalf and Lockett can take something short and make it a large gain. Other thing I'm looking for here is, did the Seahawks just say, screw it, you're not even good enough for us to have to throw the ball. We're just going to keep the ball away from you and run Kenneth Walker, who's been playing very well.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I'm looking for. Anything in particular you're looking for as far as matchup-wise?
Look, they're going to be out their superstar left tackle, Andrew Thomas. This line was bad last week.
He's going to miss another game?
Yeah, he's out.
Jeez.
So I'm looking for this offensive line to be better. They probably can't be great without their best lineman. Just be better this week. Help Daniel Jones as much as possible. This guy needs help.
Right.
You can help him by giving him time.
Right.
Another thing I'm looking for, I mentioned earlier, one of these wilds to emerge. You need one of them. Maybe it's Sterling Shepard. He's proven that he can be good. Maybe it's Slayton who's proven that he can't. There's all these guys who have spurts, but you don't ever give it to them.
Yeah.
Because you're, whatever. And if this last one is just not anything to do with these players at all, it's this field. This is a deadly field.
Yeah.
This is MetLife.
Stay healthy out there, boys.
This is one of those fields where everyone complains about the turf and about. So, I don't want any more injuries. Injuries suck for the NFL. It sucks for fantasy. It sucks in real life. It sucks. You don't want. So tomorrow, play a clean game, everyone where it's good football, and no one gets hurt. That's all I want. I'm tired of injuries every week. We have to talk about these. I mean, we even talk about Tre'Davious White's out for season this year, and because that just sucks. And tomorrow, I don't want to see any injuries.
That's our Monday night preview for tomorrow. Should be a good game, hopefully.
Technically tonight.
Tonight, tonight. Sorry, it's getting really late here.
Yeah.
That's our Monday night preview. And next week, hopefully, we mentioned it last week about the new studio.
Mm-hmm.
We're working on it. Things are coming in. Amazon boxes on my porch right now.
We're building.
Well,
Joey's building. I am supporting him building.
You're doing a great job with that.
That's what I do.
We still don't have a name. If you have any name suggestions, kick them our way.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get in the studio. Can't wait for you to see it.
Yeah.
Can't wait for you. We're going to turn ourselves so you can see our faces. That might be nice, right?
You can see the whole picture next time.
I'm a good-looking guy. You're a good-looking guy.
Thank you. I wasn't going to say it myself, but thank you.
What did you do this weekend?
What did I do this weekend? Friday, we had a little party at a friend's house.
Okay, so I want to talk about this.
Okay.
Because you hate scary movies. That is not your thing.
Not my thing.
What did you watch?
Scream.
Okay, is that a thriller or is that a true horror movie?
It's like a goofy thriller. I've never seen. It's like it's like a meta movie.
We're gonna sound like idiots because I feel like
no, the whole movie they made fun of scary movies.
Really?
That's the whole thing. They make fun of scary movies while they're in a scary movie. It's very meta. It's not scary. It's just kind of fun. It's kind of goofy. It's kind of like you can tell why. After I saw, I'm like, you can tell there's a cult following for the Scream movies. Yeah. It's kind of like a meta scary movie where it's like people it's gruesome. Some parts are gruesome. But I, as a guy who doesn't like scary movies, who doesn't enjoy that genre at all, I enjoyed that movie. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So always nice to get a new movie into the rotation where, solid.
So I started a new series this weekend. Not a new series. I've seen it before.
Mm-hmm.
But I stopped watching it because the lead actor was facing some pretty serious allegations.
Oh, my God. What do you
Kevin
want?
Spacey. Kevin Spacey. I love House of Cards. I love it. I love it. I love it. But I haven't watched it because I just felt weird. Kevin Spacey had some serious accusations here. But if you haven't followed the news, charges were dropped. And
look,
I don't know the specifics.
This is one of the classic arguments where do you judge the art or the art or the artist?
Right.
Do you judge so it's to each their own. If you believe what you believe, but sometimes these artists are very good.
Well, I dove back in House of Cards, and I am flying through episodes right now.
Yeah.
And having a great time. That is a great series. Whatever you care about, whatever you think about Kevin Spacey, I get it, whatever. Don't want to argue about that. This is a great series. I'm having a good time.
Yeah, and then Sunday, tonight, a little shout out to our mom and dad. Celebrated their 39th, right?
Congrats, guys.
39th
years.
anniversary. That's hard to do.
Neither of them are 60 yet.
Yeah, I'm 60. So if you do the math, you'll realize that my mom was married very young.
I'm sure she'll
But
love
shout
this.
out to the Tovars for 39 years of wedded bliss
Congrats, guys.
and having 2 kids who started a podcast.
Mom might hear this. There's not a chance Dad will.
No, so I can say whatever I want. Dad, why am I not the favorite? I'm the...
Okay, don't. God, they don't want to hear this.
Okay.
Yeah,
Little
congrats
family
to you
time.
guys. You got a busy week going on?
Yeah, we are both heading towards San Diego.
San Diego.
Yes, so we might do some remote shows from San Diego.
Yeah, there'll be a different looking set here probably on Friday
but
and Sunday.
But like we always do, we won't stop
I haven't missed the show.
because I am very excited about this. And this season is fun.
Yeah,
There's teams out of nowhere. I don't want to stop.
yeah. We have, now I think about it, the shows that we did when I was on the boat in the middle of the Bahamas, those are wild.
Yeah,
Not to mention trying to do an interview doing them.
yeah.
We've already moved the studio once. We're going to move it again.
Mm-hmm.
But we're just not going to miss the show.
And thanks for sticking around. If
Thank you
have.
so much for sticking around.
We won't stop if you don't stop. So
we
let's
know
just
this
keep
show
going
can get
together.
stupid sometimes because we're just a
Yeah.
couple of idiots who love the NFL.
We don't claim to be experts. We're just fans of the game.
We love it. We
Yeah.
work hard to provide something that hopefully is entertaining for a little bit amount of your time, and we appreciate you giving us an hour of your time. You can be doing anything. But you're
And-
listening to us.
Be a friend and tell a friend.
Yeah, share the show.
Be the guy at the barbecue around the water cooler at work. Hey, listen to these guys. This is an upstart podcast. Give them a quick listen. We'd appreciate
That's all
that.
for today. Thanks so much for following the show. Enjoy Monday Night Football. We will see you again Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye.